You can record to this computer or you can record to the cloud. I guess I'm recording to this computer. Oh, man, that's not a good setup. There we go. All right. I think the volume is good. I believe this is recording. If you hate me, end the episode now. If you're listening at home, this is Colby. It's all you're getting today. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So I am the last hope, I guess. So yesterday was Thursday. I guess things were overwhelming for everyone, so it got pushed to today. Was the show record day. Haven't heard anything from Burns since, I don't want to fake news anybody here. Let's see. Last thing from Burns was, I guess, the last show Monday at 10:34 was the last time we heard from Burns. And then Kyle today just wrote, LOL, looks like you're solo, because he's up riding. So here I am, solo dolo, just rolling the show. There might be an ad today that I don't have access to the sheet. If there's an advertiser out there watching looking for their ad, I'm sorry. I guess I could just protect myself by saying the show is sponsored by Mint Mobile, Audio Boom, Robinhood, Lisa Mattresses, Stitch Fix. I think that's all of them that are left. Anyway, yeah, so welcome. As always, when you do a solo show, it's always different because you're kind of looking at yourself on the camera and you're looking for what you should talk about and everything like that. So, I mean, it's just a fun time. It's just a fun time. You can hear in my voice. I'm definitely thrilled to be ride or die by myself. It's tough. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Let's jump into it. I don't even know what episode this is nowadays. And I can't take a water break because now everyone has to listen to me take a water break. So the first thing I was going to talk about, I'm trying to share my screen here, is Dan Bilzerian. Everyone knows Dan Bilzerian at this point, but if you don't, Dan Bilzerian has a social media following, mainly on just his Instagram, of 26.1 million followers. That is a lot of people. It's insane that he was kind of one of the first Instagram influencers to make something from nothing. No one really knows how he got his original popularity other than the fact that he had a lot of money and would take pictures of hot chicks. The story basically goes that he got his initial money because his dad was a scammer and a fraudster, and he gave him money that was like untraced. So Dan got his money, then played professional poker, but I guess he wasn't very good at poker. Anyway, now he has this life where I know he probably makes a shitload of money for being so popular on Instagram and doing sponsored posts. And he has his own CBD line called Ignite, which is always flooding his feed. It's just normally him and hot chicks wearing the logo, smoking pot, which is also weird now that in 2019 it's okay. You know, like, remember back in the day, not even back in the day, a couple years ago, when people would like hide the fact that they smoked pot, or they would like, I don't know, not put it on social media. But now with it becoming more illegal and this and that, it's just everywhere. Like everywhere, it's just like, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's his brand. His brand is, I'm going to go spend a bunch of money on expensive pipes, have hot chicks smoke out of the pipes, do some dabs, call it good. Like that's his life now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason he's under fire, let me bring this over here. I'm trying to share my screen live while I'm going, which is going to be super tight for the people watching on YouTube. People on audio, I am now loading my desktop too. Hit share, and here we are. So Dan Bilzerian came under, I wouldn't even say came under fire. He more just got called out for this. So he has this big party. He has the party to launch something for his Ignite line. And at the party, he had Cardi B perform, which, let me tell you, it has to be expensive as shit, because she's like got to be a top 5 puller right now as far as, you know, popularity at the moment to get her to show up at your party. They dropped a lot of money on this, but that's not the point. So this picture right here is Dan. They can't tell us how to act. I'm Cardi B Ignite. I went to get Cardi's post too, but she's deleted it because, like I said, he's semi under fire for this post. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Oh shit, can I? Oh hell yeah, I can. So here's the post right here. Here's Cardi B, Dan, this girl in the back. He's got his nice little logo here. What if I told you this wasn't the main photo, right? So here's Cardi B looking normal and everything. Let me pull this over here really quick. Oh shit, it's supposed to be this one. Here we go. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so here's the Cardi B post, which is now deleted because, like I said, this is just got noticed by people. So you'll see a couple differences in these two posts. Dan photoshopped the TV out of this post. Dan made Cardi B lose a little bit of weight, and Dan cleaned up his shirt a little bit with the wrinkles. So yeah, here, if you don't believe me, here it is. I mean, Cardi's post did good too. 1 million likes on that post. That's pretty crazy. All right, here it is. Look at this. So there's Cardi's, Dan's. Cardi's, Dan's. Cardi's. He literally made her butt shrink in. He even took the time. Watch the tiles back here. So a lot of times when you look at people who will screw up on their Photoshop is they won't pay attention to where they're mapping and cutting and masking. And he even gets the tiles. Cleans it all up back there, a little bit of blur. Another thing that's funny is if you look at her eyes, that he went in here and like changed her eyes. Oh man, this poor girl in the back. All right, let's look at this. Where's Dan's post? Here's Dan's post, right? This chick looks, like her job is to be a hot chick on Instagram. That's probably her job. She showed up to this party to be hot. Here's what's crazy. Dan didn't think that this was good. Here's the original. So he just made her butt a little bigger. He took her stomach, sucked it to her butt. Stomach, butt, stomach, butt, stomach, butt. The other weird thing here, though, is if Dan's going to do all this work to Photoshop, look, he left his piss stain on his T-shirt. Like, what a weird move right here. Like, that's definitely... I'm going to see if I can zoom in on that other one. Doing all this on the fly. I've actually never really used this program. I'm pretty thrilled with it right now. All right. Oh, shoot. Too zoomed. That's a piss stain, Dan. He photoshopped this. He photoshopped all this. He photoshopped this girl's butt, chest, eyeballs, the TV. He forgot this piss stain. Like, how... This is just a dork. He's also been known to like Photoshop his calves in pictures to like, so he supposedly skips leg day all the time. So he'll do his calves. Like, this is the kind of content Dan has. Like, that's legal. That's okay. Yeah. This would be demonetized right now if this is on YouTube. Well, I guess this is technically going on YouTube. So yeah, that's the life of Dan Blazarian. Ignite. Here he is wearing his white shirt, mini shorts again. Anyway, so that was an interesting move that I saw on the internet. I was like, okay, I clicked on a video and I didn't understand the logistics and the logic behind photoshopping a photo like that. To me, makes no sense. Like, if this guy's popularity isn't for, like, it's Cardi B. Like, why would you take the time to Photoshop it? So anyway, he's under fire for that. Nothing will happen. It's just like all these times, all these big guys will get quote unquote under fire. Logan Paul, Dan Blazarian, Rice Scum for ripping off kids. They always bounce back. None of them there's ricochet shots nowadays. So yeah, that was cool. I feel like I talked about that for 10 minutes. It was probably 1 minute. I don't even know where the timer is on this to see how long I've been recording for. But yeah, I'm probably 3 minutes in, which is also pretty dope. But yeah, so that I saw that was pretty interesting. Was going to bring that up on the show today. Burns talked about that Jacob Wool guy. That dude's got his whole Twitter banned. That's just hilarious to me that you can. We'll talk about this all the time. Social media and the way that people say things and do things. It's like right now on this show, if you pulled me aside, I hit stop. You pulled me aside, sat me over there in the corner where my wall's all messed up, and you said, Colby, did you say this on the show? Like what? Like, and I lied about it. It's like, let's say I wasn't supposed to say that, but I said it, and then I lied about it, but I already recorded this. It's like people think that stuff that they do and say isn't ever going to come back out, and then they're going to have egg on their face. Like, this dude literally said in an interview bragging, oh yeah, I'm going to make bot Twitter followers and Twitter things to rig the election. He said that, then his account gets banned for breaking Twitter rules, and he's like, "Whoa!" I mean, think about it. That's like the equivalent of you. Let's say you're playing a video game, and you knowingly put in. Back in the day, there was Game Genie. Let's say there's a way you could do that on your Xbox. You mod your Xbox to play Fortnite, and you put an aimbot on you, and you get 25 kills, and then you go on Twitter, and you're like, "Oh man, I just used this aimbot to get 25 kills. I'm the best." And then Fortnite goes and terminates your account, and you'd be like, what do you mean? I did. Wow, it's not fair. I got terminated. Well, dude, you just admitted to it, man. You did a crime. You said what you were going to do. I'm going to hack Twitter, or not hack Twitter. I'm going to bot Twitter to try and rig an election. Come on, dude. You got to be, if you're going to do something dumb, don't publicize it. It's just like what we always say, man. It's just like the girl in Canada who threw the chair off the balcony. Stupid girl. But if she never would have filmed it and just threw the chair off there, it was just like, haha, that was fun. I threw a chair off the balcony, almost killed somebody. Then she would have filmed it. They never would have caught her. But instead, she filmed it, put it on, her friend put it on social media, and now she's going to jail. It's like the dude 2 years ago when Kyle and I ran the website. There's a dude at a golf course, and a goose comes up, or not a goose, some kind of bird comes up that's like known on the course. You know, it's they're all over the place. The bird comes up, and the dude literally tees off with his driver and takes the bird's head off. And his buddy, who's filming it, and they're both laughing, posts it in a WhatsApp group text with 20, 30 people. I don't remember how many were in it. And all it takes is one dude to be like, well, fuck this guy, and send it to somebody else. And it's like the episode of The Office when Michael accidentally sends the picture of Jan. It's just a second, it's spread through the whole office. Everyone has it. It's just on the internet. If someone sees something outrage like that and they can hopefully watch somebody burn, siren behind my house. They can watch somebody burn. They burn them. That's like what the internet is known for now. And now, if you're going to be taking in animal cruelty and all that, like, yeah, again, I'm not condoning any of this bad stuff, but why are you filming this stuff? Like, what? You're going to go home and watch that and be like, man, that was tight. Like, I would hope that you would have remorse after you did something like that, where you'd be like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. But instead, you filmed it and you can live it for the rest of your life. Like, it's just dumb. Or like the dude that films himself drive-bying, hitting that kid with his car, and his wife or his girlfriend's in there filming it, and then they post it on Snapchat. Again, film it, go home, do whatever you want, maybe show a couple of buddies on your phone. I never understand why you need to upload that anywhere. Audio listeners taking a sip of water. YouTube listeners, what's up, everybody? Again, if you are listening now and you're like, wow, Colby's talking a lot, I haven't heard Kyle and Burns. They're gone. So again, if you don't like me, I might title this episode, If You Hate Colby, Don't Listen. Speaking of things posted, all right, I'm going to go another little deep dive here. So a rapper, I don't want to say his name wrong. It's YM. Murder on my mind. Rapper. What's his name? YM what? Okay, YNW Melly. So it's a dude. I mean, I listen to a lot of rap music. Most of the time, I'll just kind of go down the Spotify list, and I'll hear a lot of quote unquote like smaller rappers that are coming up. I never heard of this dude. Call me crazy, I know, but I see this story come across. So YNW Melly. I don't know. I think I've heard what it means, or it is. But anyway, this dude gets arrested for allegedly killing two of his friends. His song now is blasted into the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. It was number 1 on Spotify for a while. It has rocketed 35.3 million US streams in 1 week. So, here's what does YNW mean. You're not welcome. So you're not welcome, Melly, I guess. Interesting. Okay, so this rapper, he got arrested, and now it's come out that they killed their friends, him and his buddy, killed their friends, and then tried to cover it up as a drive-by. So, like the Jesse Smollett case, it's cops aren't stupid. You can hate cops all you want if you're over there being like, ugh, ugh. They're still not dumb. Like, you have to be somewhat educated enough if you have the dream and desires to go do this, right? And then there's investigators. And then there's smarter people above the smarter people. And there's also just common sense. Like, I knew from the start when I saw that Jesse thing, that was fake news. Called it, too many red flags. This one, the cops were like, okay, this is interesting. And it's turned out that they allege again that they drove, so him and his buddy, this rapper, drove around for a period of time in an attempt to cover up and make this thing a cover up. So they had their buddies' dead bodies or dying bodies in the backseat of this car, and they made it seem, and they told the story that, oh, they were leaving the studio, they were recording, yada, 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 and then they got shot. So I mentioned this murder on my mind at the start of this. This is the weirdest part of this thing, is he has a song called Murder on My Mind that now is just blowing the hell up on the internet. I'm trying to pull the lyrics up on my share screen because I'm just freaking killing it today. I would play the song, but I'm not that far in advance. All right, so here's the lyrics to this song. I'm going to find the part. So it says, yeah, here's the part. It says, the yellow tape around his body is a fucking homicide. His face is on a t-shirt and his family traumatized. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back, and shot him twice. His body dropped dead to the floor. He got teardrops in his eyes. He grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him, it's too late, my friend. It's time to say goodbye. And he died inside my arms, blood all over my shirt. Okay, I'm, again, not a pro rapper, but maybe, I don't know where the blood all over my shirt didn't rhyme with anything there. Anyway, so Murder on My Mind, skyrocketing. Now people are saying, hey, this is him pretty much confessing to his fucking crime. It's just everything. This is just what we were just saying. It's like, why film it? This is a well-produced song. He's got a good voice. He sings that better than I rapped it. Whatever. He took the time to mix, master, record, and write these lyrics, publish it, post it on the internet, make a music video for it. And also, now it turns out that there's a documentary coming out that the cops have watched that also makes it look like, hey, I did this. I killed my two friends. I mean, this is like Bobby Shmurda level of dumb, where you say exactly what the crime is to a point where you could be like, okay, caught me by surprise. Okay, maybe he accidentally shot his friend, reloaded his pistol, shot him twice. It's just all these things it's my friend he's killing. Like, it's just eerie. It's eerie, and it's stupid that something like this, well, it's sad that something like this happens, but it's stupid that he would put it into a song that then gets, well, now it's blowing up, but it's just like controversy sells, and now he's got a hit record, probably going to jail for murder for the rest of his life. But hey, at least he made it big. I mean, at what cost? People always ask, like, at what cost would you go to make it big? I guess murder is this guy's level, murdering his two friends. All right, audio listeners, water break. What's up, YouTube viewers? Man, that was a good topic right there. Again, people are probably like, Colby's topics are the worst. Hey, this is what you're stuck with, man. Yeah, nothing else but me. Yeah, the internet's just full of manipulation nowadays. I mean, the Kardashian stuff too, that I always see come across my feed. I know that they're big and they're famous, and there's a ton of people who, I would hate to say this word, but look up to them and follow them and all that stuff. But at some point, there's just like a level to where the average normal person has to look at the situation that they're always continually in and be like, all right, something smells fishy or bogus about this. Like, no family in the history of the fucking world has had more drama and downspins and ups and downs in this family in 1 week. You have one sister going on attack for all designers and creators. Oh, by the way, her husband is Kanye West, who's also doing his own thing. Then you have the other sister whose baby daddy is Tristan Thompson, who left his baby mama for this Kardashian sister, who I'm trying to make sure I get all this right. I have it written down right here. I was going to make it into an Instagram video and got sidetracked. So Tristan Thompson, an NBA basketball player, left his baby mama for this one, had a baby with this Kardashian, but then allegedly hooks up with the youngest Kardashian's best friend who lives in the house with them, Jordan Woods. Now that's the big story. Then it turns out that Kylie Jenner, who's got a baby with really popular rapper Travis Scott, has accused him of cheating as well. So in 1 week, this news cycle has ran stuff that you wouldn't dream would happen to any of, like, think about all your friends and family out there. Like, how many times can you be like, oh man, their life was so controversial. Like, remember when this happened? Oh no, but remember when this happened? Maybe one time. This family had 4 events in 4 days. Like, how? That's just crazy. It blows my mind that people still fall for this garbage out there. Like this, there's a puppet master behind all of this, and there's somehow, some way, there's an alternate plan. They're just making tons of money off all these people. But I guess I technically fell for it because I see all these. I took the time to write down all this information because I thought it'd be a funny video. And here I am ripping on people falling for it, and I took it hook, line, and sinker. I'm just as bad as everyone else out there who's feeding this monster. Man, burped on camera. And this would be a good part right now. I'd be like, so yeah, what are you guys up to? And then I'd hopefully get like a second win to catch my breath on a live one. I feel like too, maybe more podcasts where people are by themselves. They maybe have like they could just hit a break right here and edit. But the way we do things here, man, we hit start and then we hit stop. There's no pause. There's no pause button. I don't even think I can do a pause button on here. You just ride and you roll. All right, you know what? Maybe this is no time better than this. Talk about a project I've been working on for the last month and a half. Pulling up my phone here, figuring out what I finally decided to call. You know, maybe I'll take some advice from the listeners. Looking for what I'm going to call this thing, right? So this is, I've told Kyle this is not like I'm sneaking around anybody's back and dropping my own thing. Everyone knows he's got the lock show. So this is a podcast project, but it's a different type of podcast. All right. So the way I've looked at what I took like 30 days. If you look at my Twitter or my Instagram, anything like that, like I've been taking, until last week, I took some time away from all social media and trying not to refresh, sites I always refresh. I deleted the Reddit app for a decent amount of time. I think I didn't make it 30 days. I think it was like 26 or something like that. And then I just was like, okay, and I got to start researching again. I cleansed my mind. I rebirthed myself onto what I wanted to do on the internet. Like I was just posting garbage and didn't really like what I was doing. Nothing wrong with that. But some people got sick of the garbage, and I think I was one of them. I got to the point where I could make it a habit of, okay, I need to do just enough on this Instagram video to get 1,000 likes, whatever, and however many views. And I knew the formula to do it. I believe Casey Neistat did this a video similar to this like a year and a half ago when I used to watch him, where he's like, I got so good, and I'm not comparing myself to him at all, but I'm just saying he said I got so good at knowing the formula of, okay, I have to do this, this, and this in my day, film this and this. So now I have this structure of, okay, I'll go here, piece of content, here, filler content, here, and I end the video. He got so good at it for like 200 days. It's like he was just out of his body, and he just knew exactly how to, control his life. And I'm by no means on that level of how much I was uploading, but I got to the point where I was just making stuff because I felt like I needed to not lose the viewership. But then I was like, I don't care enough to do that at the same time. So I just took a whole step back. But this is what I came up with, right? And again, I've already talked to Kyle about this. He's going to help me out. He's going to promote it, he said. Sucker. We have him on record. So, no, don't have a name for it yet. You kind of have a name for it. podcast format, and I've already recorded 2 of these. My goal is to have 5 done before I launch it, probably in 2 weeks. I've already talked to people how to post it and all that stuff, but I want to have 5 done before I do anything. Hold on one sec. I can't come down. I'm recording the podcast. Yeah. But I can't come down. Sorry, guys. That was terrible timing. It really just threw my brain off. My neighbor just asked if they can borrow a broom. We have this big broom, and a bunch of trees fell down, so they're sweeping their sidewalk. So just take it. I can't come down and record the podcast. I literally forgot my time. Okay, I remember. So I wanted to record 5 because everyone who's listening to this, we're 500 episodes deep on this podcast. You know, Kyle and I are special at this. We're the best of the best. We'd be first round picks of starting something and not following through. So what I wanted to do, and what I've done 2 of already, but I have the topics for the next 3. I just need to do the recordings. I wanted to do 5. First season would be 5 episodes, 1 a week. They're long episodes. Originally, I wanted to call it like deep dive podcast, internet deep dive. Bunch of different names. I tried to play on that. Probably spent an hour and a half, and I'm like, why am I wasting so much time finding trying to find a super special name? Because if you go to Apple iTunes and type in deep dive, there's like 17 already that are called deep dive podcasts. I'm like, well, I don't want to compete with these nerds. Like, I want to be my own nerd. So I talked to my brother, who is a genius, 10 times smarter than me. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to worry about a name anymore. I'm just going to jump into it. And he's like, yeah, just do that, man. Make a splash. And I'm like, dude, deep dive. It's all coming back to me. But instead of being deep dive, I'm just going to jump in as hard as I can, make the biggest splash that I can with the belly flop. Belly flop podcast, what I was going to call it, what I still might call it. You know what? I can't preview the first episode because I don't have it on this machine. But if I can share my screen, I can kind of talk through it. So the thing I wanted to do, I've done fastest growing YouTube channel, done vlog, like the vlog stuff, and I really enjoyed it. But the problem with that for me was I'm not interesting enough to carry that on a daily basis. And I'm also not the type of person who can drive down the street and act like, okay, I got to act like I'm doing something cool today, and then go home, put my sweatpants back on and sit at home. Like, it was tough for me to play that, for lack of a better word, character, to where I could vlog and then do that. And then the other thing I tried too, I don't know if a lot of people even know this, but for a little bit, not even really, just for fun, I was going to do like a sports center of Fortnite, which actually still could and would be pretty popular since it's still one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game out there, where I would take the top 10 clips, run it just like SportsCenter, literally carbon copy of, okay, the SportsCenter, here's play 10, and then talk about the play, highlight the streamer, etc. The problem I ran into with that is around episode 5 or 6, I just didn't like making that type of content where I was relying on something else to happen before I could do something. It's the same reason why Kyle and I took a step back from the website originally. When the ads started getting slow, we realized and the traffic was harder to get. It's like we realized we didn't really have anything. What's the word? We didn't really have anything that relied on us doing anything. Yeah, we were really good at making and tailoring a piece of content that might not have been Joe Schmo, who works at MSNBC or CNN, they might see an article and post it like the actual journalism way. What Kyle and I were really good at was taking a piece of content that might be a boring bottom of the headline type thing and twisting it and tweaking it and finding a different way to move the narrative towards, for lack of a better word, again, clickbait, to get more clicks to this post that was really good. It had good content, but you can't just have this huge long headline. But we realized our job at Dude Comedy website, we relied on someone to do something stupid, someone to do something funny, someone to do something amazing, someone to do a crime. And it was a tough life. It was a tough life cycle of news to where it almost felt like we were waiting and nothing was interesting anymore. Like we wouldn't laugh at videos that people would send us who would be like, dude, this is the funniest video I've ever seen. And it's someone that you talk to all the time and you're like, you trust them and you'd watch it and you're just like numb to certain things. And one day we realized like we put all of our eggs in this basket where we're waiting on other people's content. And if it's not good one day, you can't force somebody to go commit, like a teacher to have sex with a student. That was one thing that always blew up for us. You can't go have somebody throw up in public. You can't have a fight happen at a McDonald's with an amazing clip. You can't have someone throw the shovel in the front yard of that redneck fight where they threw the shovel at the girl. Like you can't make somebody do some of these things, but you rely on it. And that was our problem. And that's what my problem with the Fortnite channel was, is some days I would have 10 clips, but it was just like in my body and mind, I would sit down to film it and I would see it and be like, is this that cool? Do I want to sit here? I mean, the videos didn't take long to edit. It was super easy, but it was like, do I want to, act like this is the coolest thing I've seen when it's really not? So that's kind of why that died off. Again, I'm telling all these fails and reasons why I'm waiting and planned this out. I have a Google sheet. I can actually pull it up in a second. I have a Google sheet with over 100 ideas of episodes for this. And I wanted to have 5 done, edited, recorded, and then broken out for YouTube and promotion on Instagram and et cetera, before I even brought it up. But when you're doing a podcast by yourself, sometimes you have to bring it up a little earlier. Anyway, Belly Flop Pod. All right. So the structure is this. It's not going to change anything what we do here. We're still going to do a 3-person show. It's going to be the same thing and everything. But it's one of those podcasts. I actually got the idea from how the way my wife listens to podcasts. She has time ones. Uh-oh. Hello? Mike. All right. That was really weird. My microphone just shut down, but now it just came back on. It's never happened before. So she listens to like all the crime podcasts, and the way that they will record them is it's super interesting because they'll take like a cold case is a really popular one, but it's not called cold case, but they'll take like a cold case and then they'll drop a new episode every week. And then I'm just like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this has already happened. You can go on the internet and research it. But she's like, oh, no, but they tell the story, and then they'll get like interviews and they'll blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So then I started kind of listening to some of these ones. NPR does a really good job of these, like kind of not more boring. NPR is more boring, like scripted. But I'm like, oh, I see why like this is cool. And then that's just like, you know what? This would be a cool mix. There's nothing like it for like the internet culture, right? So then I'm like, oh, this would be a cool mix if you did like a mix of how commentary channels blew up on YouTube because they would just take people's, content and be like, this guy sucks. Oh, this is not good. This is bad. But the thing is, if none of them really dove deep to see how we got to that situation, like how did Prank Invasion go? Like, what's Prank Invasion's first video? Like, how far did they go? And then now he's to this point where he's getting 1 million views, selling kissing advice on websites that are not SSL secured. He's probably stealing credit cards. Like, how did we get here and what happened? So I thought that was like something that was missing and fun. It's always something that was like, I mean, there's been times where I thought I could sit down there and do a video. So like the Dan Blazarian topic today, I've always thought like I could sit there. Now I've done some of these with Kyle on the PTFO Facebook page where we'll sit there and be like, can you believe this happened? Da, 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 da. And those are fun. Those are really fun to make. I like making those type of things. But the problem is I didn't want to sit and rely on, oh man, this is going viral right now. It's like drama alert mixed with Philly D. Like I didn't want to be something like that. I didn't want to make a show like that. So the podcast form is just going to be a deep dive into things that are wild. out there on the internet or in real life. I'm trying to pull up my thing. I can just show everyone my ideas because what are you going to do? Steal them and make your own? I don't care. So I already have 2 episodes recorded. One of them I actually have legit interviews. Where the fudge is the thing? All right. So one of the series is for the Belly Flop podcast. It's called Too Good to Be True. And the first episode of Too Good to Be True is get rich quick schemes on the internet. So I have people who have fallen for pyramid schemes. So I went on Facebook and I messaged people. I'm like, hey, I didn't lie. I fudged the truth a little bit. I'm like, hey, I run a popular podcast, which isn't a lie. Dude Comedy Podcast was in the top 100 on Spotify last time we looked. And I didn't mention this one's a new podcast. I said, we're doing some research right now. I'm looking for people who, there's Facebook groups. There's a ton of them that got scammed. I'm like, I'm looking for people who want to tell their story. I'm trying to come up with, how we got to the point where it's so easy to get scammed on. I want to make $79 to make this $1 million dream happen. Or people are paying $300, $500, thousands of dollars to learn how to make money online, get into pyramid schemes. So I got some people on there. I got some of the stories. I recorded it. And then I have like a pretty good flow of, I'll talk about. So this one guy, his name was Jeremy Shoemaker, called himself Shoe Money. So he was one of the first dudes to sell how to make money on Google, like with Google AdWords and stuff like that on your website. So these people all paid thousands of dollars to learn his stuff. And then what happened is he sold like the list and the names to a company that then marketed themselves as him down the road, like 2 years later. And they were like, oh yeah, this is his new program. Check it out. So these people who might have had success and liked, all right, well, I'm going to put it in perspective like this. Like, let's say it's me here and I have all of you listeners paid me $1,000 to listen. Let's say we have 4,000 people paid me, $1,000, right? And I made all that money and I taught you guys. And we probably had at least a decent amount of time that you would respect me if I taught you enough on how to make money online. I said, hey, this is how you use Google AdWords. Here's how you get traffic. Here's how you drive traffic to your website, get the AdWords, yada, yada, yada. Boom. All right. You would probably be like, oh, that was cool. And maybe you made your $1,000 back. And back then that wouldn't have been hard on Google AdWords if I was telling you how to get traffic. So now imagine you don't hear from me really for 2 years, 2.5 years, but then someone calls you, not even an email. This is a call. And they say, hey, Justin, this is Colby here calling you, or this is Steve here calling you from Colby Marketing, Colby Internet. And we want to say, we really enjoyed teaching you a couple years ago, and we got something new and exciting for you. What? And then, so you're on the phone just like, oh, shit, like what's going on? Maybe you went and did a full-time job after that and you hate it. You're working a 9 to 5 again. And now you got this guy who's a trained salesperson, probably in Utah, coming at you saying like, oh yeah, here's, do you want to be financially free? Do you want to be independent? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to be your own boss? Would an extra $600 to $1,000 a week make a difference for you and your family? And you'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, what are you selling, man? I loved your stuff last time. Well, Colby's offering a special VIP package to people who have used his program before. Oh shit. Okay. Like, what is it? Like, yeah, I used his package before. That's me. I'm VIP. So he normally charges $9,000 for this. Oh man, that's a lot. But since you're VIP, we're going to give it to you for, $2,900. And they'll be like, oh, that's too much. And then if the salesperson can be like, oh, well, we can put you on a credit or a payment plan. You only have to put $500 down right now, and then we'll charge you again in 2 months, whatever. Anyway, this is how they get you in. And this is what these guys, now take that number of 4,000 and times it by 10. There's hundreds of thousands of people who paid this guy money over the years. And now his name is attached to this new product and new company and new program. And people are buying it and signing up for it, expecting the same and similar results that they got from the guy they trusted, only to find out that this guy just sold their list to some scumbag company who's just spitting crappy ebook knowledge at them. Most of the stuff that doesn't work, it's just stuff that's like generic cut and paste copy. Hey, here's step one, try hard. Step 2, be in the right mindset. Step 3, it's the same crap. And so what happened is these people created a Facebook group that were like, hey, were you set up by this? Did you fall for this? Whatever. People spent thousands of dollars. So I got some people on there for that. I'm still working to get more pyramid scheme ones. The problem I'm having when I'm doing the pyramid scheme research is there's so many that have failed in the last couple of years, but it's tough to find the people who still advertise their past, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of people, as bad as this sounds, just move on to the next one or find a different way to like twist what they did into something else. But that will still be added on there. So then I have, so this is another, that's one of the ones I've already recorded. It's not done. That's like just recorded. I'm going to actually do like edited audio to where it flows in a consistent 45, 50 minutes of, like a beginning, middle, end, an actual story. So that one's already good. I did it. This one, I don't know if I'm going to release right away, or I might maybe save it till number 5. Cause I like the other 2 ones I haven't recorded yet, but I started gathering info on. This one is so it's Deep Dive Fortnite, which is now Belly Flop Fortnite. How did it get so big so fast? Now, the problem I'm having with it is a lot of people are kind of like numb to the Fortnite stuff because it's just kind of, no one plays it. But what's really interesting is I found some pretty crazy statistics on like Google Trends. And then I went in and I took like Ninja as an example and some of these other like popular YouTube creators, not Twitch, like YouTube creators. And then I created a Google ad account for YouTube. And then I went to these creators' pages and I wanted to see my best range to target. And like, so you can go on there and see how many % of people are from the ages of 10 to 17. That's too high. I think it was like, whatever. Anyway, you can advertise to like certain demos and whatnot. And some of the stats are crazy because you realize that the reason why this game blew up so fast is because it was just kids pushing it. It was literally like, yeah, I understand like the top players and stuff. None of them are kids and they're all really good. And Twitch streamers are all like pro, I get that. But the YouTube stats that I pulled from just Ninja alone are bananas. How many views and subscribers and stuff that he was getting in his target demo. It's fascinating how this game that people can be like, oh, how did it get so popular so quick? It's because it was driven by kids telling kids about it. And that's like, I compare it in this episode to the rise of Jake Paul and now to the fall of Jake Paul. The rise of Jake Paul can be traced all the way back to he was on a Disney Channel show for kids. He had a Vine that was, a Vine where he made Vines that his Disney Channel kids were on Vine. Musically, and which is now TikTok, is still mostly kids. The most popular TikTok person is these twins. They're like 14 or 15 years old. They have 32 million fans. Musically, TikTok, and Vine. It's always been that same demo. Jake Paul's Disney demo on Vine followed him. And then when he, rose up and Vine died, he brought that kid audience, which he admits is kids, to YouTube. And once he got to YouTube and his content, which was tailored towards kids, was spread around through more kids, then that's why he blew up. It's like I used I can't remember the dude's name off the top of my head. I used this guy's video who makes like pretty in-depth gaming reviews, but they're more like for like Resident Evil and like stuff like that. And I went and found this guy, and he's over 1 million subscribers, but he's had over 1 million subscribers for like 3 years. It's like kind of at his peak. And I said, this guy posts a different video every 2 days that's more in depth than anything Jake Paul's ever created. Why doesn't he grow even when he's hitting trends of Fortnite, PUBG, like all these games that he's deep diving into and finding all this information about? It's because he's not getting he's not bringing over he's not getting kids. Like his content is like a history lesson. It's like a video essay. These kids aren't going to listen to that. They go to school and not listen to that stuff. They're not going to go home and listen to some guy break down the, background of why this gun is in a game. It's very cool for like people who probably listen to this podcast, but it's not going to be, a flashy kids game or a Jake Paul put, a chick in the thumbnail which is a different topic. But anyway, that one, I'm kind of burying it down the list of my top 5 rankings only because people are so numb to like the Fortnite stuff. But again, so my plan for these is they'll come out in a podcast form. The podcast form will then have I'll do a YouTube video, but the YouTube video will just be me talking. It won't be anything crazy. But then I'm gonna break that YouTube video down once I have all these done. The YouTube video down into like a 10-minute, 11-minute, 12-minute, whatever it takes to like quick cut it. And then obviously use my quick cuts to then make Instagram videos to be like, oh, did you know this person, like how many people get scammed in the US and every day on Facebook? Burnt, and then have like a noise and then be like, and then have the person cut to their audio, then being like, I paid this guy $2,000 and I got nothing. Check out what we've discovered here on the Belly Flop podcast, Barrett. So that's the plan for that. But I'm leading everybody on. Don't want to do that to everybody. I'm going to share. This one is the first one that's completely done. And I have my dog's barking. Sorry, I'm going to pause for a sec. There we go. This is the first one that I've actually done. I have like the videos ready. I have clips ready. I have photos ready. And I have the audio done. So this will be the first episode. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it yet, but something along the lines of like, this is the weirdest content you can post on YouTube or whatever. Something like that. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to start. So the video, I'll even break down how I'm planning on editing this thing. So this will be the start right here. This is just a YouTube page. The sound will be a lot louder with like the clicking, how it does all that. So, I got this, searching. It's clicking right now. We broke up. So check this out, right? We broke up videos on YouTube. I think I scroll down here. Look at these views. 49, 1.8, 10 million, 4.4 million, 1.2 million, 19,000, 3 million, 4.3 million, 5.9 million, 8.1 or 8.8 million, 1.1 million, 10 million. Oh, this one's not breakup ones. This one's got 556,000. I broke up with my girlfriend, 11 million. So we broke up 285. We broke up. My depression update, 1.2 million. The YouTube couples who broke up, why we broke up, 1 million. My relationship status, why we broke up, 7. We broke up 2.5. So probably not the fastest math people there. Of that right there, let me pull. I don't think I should have stopped sharing screens. The worst kind of videos, right? So it seems like just about everybody is posting these kind of videos, right? Creators. It's we broke up videos. They're all, this is the weird part though. They're all monetized. Every single one. They all have them crying in the thumbnail. And of course, they're all extremely weird. So as a normal person, I mean, this is, again, I'm paraphrasing what I break down when I have actually written down. But as a normal person, a breakup is probably the lowest part of your life. Like, at that time, a breakup is probably the lowest part of your life. You're just like, this sucks. I want nothing to do with anybody. That's normal. What's not normal is strapping on your 1080p DSLR camera right in front of your face. These aren't like the camera. It's like a hidden camera show or anything. They're talking to a camera about what happened. And it's not just 30 seconds of we broke up and I want to go be with myself. These are 10, 11, 12, 20-minute videos to make sure they get multiple ads in there on the internet. This is banana. Like, that's crazy. They're all monetized. So what I did on the podcast, which you could check out at Belly Flop Pod. I don't know what it will be. People find me and message me what I should call it. Anyway, I compare this. So people, I figured the argument would be, well, these YouTubers, they have to tell their audience what's going on. They're celebrities. I figured that would be the argument. And I was like, I still don't buy that. So what I did is I went and I compared the celebrity statements from famous divorces and breakups. I found 29. Actually went through a 29 page slideshow, which had like 1,000 ads that just killed my computer, where it had like the famous celebrity divorces and breakups or court termination, documented like broken up divorces, which is worse than a breakup. People are like married. They literally took the time to go to a courthouse and get married. And these people broke up. And there was only one time in all of these 29 that I could find anything remotely close. I'm going to pull it up here too. Only one time I could find anything remotely close to what we just watched in that preview of the We Broke Up. And let me show you. And of the top 29 celebrity, how do I share? Of the top 29 celebrity breakups and divorces, there's only one time that there was a reference to when it came on a TV show. And of course, here it is. Audio listeners, the one time that I found was Kim Kardashian. So if you're going to use the argument of, oh, well, all celebrities, these people are all celebrities and they have to fill in their audience, yada, yada, yada. Well, the only other time that happened in the history of famous celebrities getting divorces who don't have just like a short statement like best of luck, we still want to be friends, we're going to stay together for the kids type thing, was Kim Kardashian. So you're comparing these YouTube people that you're trying to defend and be heroes who are monetizing their videos, crying in their thumbnails, and being extremely weird to Kim Kardashian. Like, that's your comparison. I mean, that's what you call whatever, and that's what you have to do. And I get it. It's weird. So, here's some stats. In the last year, there have been 13 top search videos on that first page that I just showed you right there that have gotten 56 million views. 56 million views. Yeah, 56 million views. That's like if the entire country of Italy sat down, every person in Italy sat down and each watched one of those videos. Like, what? It's a lot of freaking views for people breaking up, man. And it's just like, I go into more. So like, I'll share, like, hold on, so I can do it like this. It's tough because I don't have like the actual audio set up for double. I've never screen recorded. It's like this guy right here, very popular guy. His name is Alex Wasabi. He has 11 million views. So he does this video on June 7th where he says, if we broke up, right? And he does this whole video. It's a long ass video. I don't have the exact time on it, but this is like the audio you can't hear. So he ends his video being like, yes, that's what would happen if we broke up. But don't worry, guys. Me and my girl, we're never going to break up. You guys know that. We might stay together forever. And that's like what this video is, right? So he clickbaits this whole video for 1.4 million views about if they broke up. Remember the date, June 7th. On, why did it open on this side? June, July, August, September. So 2.5 months later, 2.5 million views. Why we broke up. And it's him. And he's sad. It's something we had to do. So I see this on this guy's channel. I'm like, wow, they didn't stay together that long. And as I'm doing my research, I've never heard of this guy, even though he has 11 million subscribers. Never heard of him. But as I'm going through and doing the research, I just randomly get my next thumbnail ready to go. And sure enough, this cuddly motherfucker right here is Alex Wasabi cuddling this girl who has 8.8 million views. And her video, when they broke up, got 10 million views. Here he is. The thumbnail, the video is about as awkward as you would expect. And it's them. And look at the date. When did I say his first video was? His first video was June 7th, where he says in this video, and I have the audio right here, he says, we might never break up. That's what he says after he does a whole video of like clickbait if we broke up. That didn't last very long, dude. And again, I feel bad for anyone who breaks up, but not if you put it on the internet. Like, this looks miserable. This girl looks sad. This dude looks kind of sad, kind of like weird about it. But like, you want to probably not make it a 10-minute video with ads. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bananas like that people do this. And then let me see, what ones are all these? Oh, this is just, I think, I think this is just all the thumbnails. I took all the thumbnails here. Audio listeners, this is better when I don't do it on the fly. So yeah, here's David Dobrik, 49 million views. We broke up. Jake Paul, 1.8 million views. We broke up. Lauren DIY, 10 million views. We broke up. These people, we broke up 5 million, 1.2 million. But look at these thumbnails. It's just crying. Oh, this dude's funny because this guy, I reference him. They break up 2 months ago and then they get back together. I'll do that. The other guy does that too. So like this is a picture of why? If this is how sad you really are and you're crying and you have, hands over eyes, crying, miserable. Why post this? Oh, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Here's my Instagram. Like, come on. I don't get. So yeah, don't forget to put the heart emoji. His actually wasn't 10 minutes. His was only 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Oh, it's something we had to do. Get your wasabi merch. Makes the video where we broke up. Again, breaking up is terrible. Spend some time, man. Don't put it like this. And then, okay, so remember this couple up here? So this couple was Derek Deso Daily, 1.1 million views 2 months ago. We broke up. They must have forgot because in that same month, a couple days later, it's caught him sleeping with his ex-girlfriend. We broke up. Today was a good day. What do you mean today was a good day? Like, it's just, this content is just banana. Oh, here's the girls. This is the one I was talking about. If we broke up, so he clickbaited it earlier. Anyway. That also led me down a serious wormhole. I don't know how I'm going to do this in the video, but I don't know if you guys ever heard of a dude named Tanner Fox. Tanner Fox? Why is it open over here, you stupid thing? Tanner Fox is a YouTuber who's also massive. This is his girlfriend that they broke up 7 months ago. Why we broke up, live update. Look at this. Breaking up with my first love 8 months ago, 4 million views. It's over 8 months ago, 2.1 million views. Tanner Fox, I have some news. The breakup, 2.2 million views. Our breakup was fake, Tanner Fox, 1 year ago, smiling in his thumbnail. We're breaking up, Tanner Fox, 1 year ago. I want you guys to really realize my date has, this is all within a year. Girlfriend of 1 year dumps me, Tanner Fox, cry emoji. I wonder why, dude. All right, here we go. I have a crush on her. This is 5 months. So 2 months after the last breakup with the other girl. This is the new girl. 5 months. Booty in the thumbnail, which we'll get to in a second. We're taking a break. I'll say these are out of order. We're officially back together. Love hurts. We broke up. She left me for someone else. And then, so the woman it said, I have a crush on her 5 months ago. 1 month later, confessing our love to each other with his new girl. 17 minutes long. And it's a sponsored video, man. So this Tanner dude is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different videos referencing his first girlfriend and his new girlfriend breaking up in the last year. 12. But then I noticed something weird about this. Her content that he uses her in is this stuff right here, which is her content, which she uses him in, cheap versus expensive. And the reason why it stuck out to me is I was like, man, for someone with this many followers and stuff, this is a crappy Photoshop job. Look at all this mess. But then I grabbed another one and I started being like, this is why are you putting this on the internet, man? You don't, cheap versus expensive with this as the thumbnail. This is the one that I really noticed because this, my friends, is a bad Photoshop. The button that they used, the brush that they used right here to thin this out is big. This also is a bad Photoshop because you can see where they enlarged her breasts right here. But that's nor here or there. Anyway, this Tanner Fox dude, I didn't even put that in the episode because I'm at a loss for words on how you can break up and get together with somebody 11 times and get millions of views over it. So yeah, that is what I might call the Belly Flop podcast. But again, there's no planned release date yet as of yet, because I want to make sure it's polished and done before I get anything out there, because I'm known on the world as starting something and not finishing it. So if I give myself a head start and have a season in the bank, it's not like anything I'm covering is viral and trending. My other two topics, one of them is let's talk about Instagram models. And it's about how the weird stuff and how you can go type in like hashtag #FitTea, which is a drink that's supposed to help you lose weight. And it's just the weirdest content you can imagine. So see, I'm not just doing like YouTube commentary. That's like all Instagram. And then I have this one, which is taking me a lot of time to get stats for, but I'm going to call this one how much porn is really on the internet. And I'm going to talk to people who are in the industry, how they got there. I'm going to reference difference between like live streamers and cam girls versus actual, everything else, and then kind of find the line. But like Pornhub is really good at giving like stats out and all that, but it's hard to compile it into a kind of a flow. So the way I have my stuff organized is I have them in a deep dive category, then I bring it over into content flow. Then my content flow tab opens up another Google Doc, which is just like a list of all the stuff. And it's tough to organize. I mean, I'm not a smart guy. I'm not a good writer or anything like that. So it's tough to like organize my ADD brain and stuff out there for that one, because it's a lot of like statistics and no one wants to just listen to stats all day. So that's why that one's lower on the list. But yeah, that is I might as well turn it into a pitch fest. I'm here by myself. No one can get mad at me for pitching everything. But yeah, I got stuff I want to go on is like, I want to deep dive or belly flop onto like World Star and like World Star's website versus World Star's Instagram, and like how and it is what it is. I originally was going to do it about F Jerry too, like fuck Jerry, but he got just shredded in real life because of like the Fire Festival and all that, and those documentaries going viral and stealing jokes. And he's already come out and been like, I wasn't good in the past, but I won't post stuff like that anymore. So he's already kind of cleaned up his stuff, and that's so. But then the World Star, if you have an Instagram, go look at what World Star posts. It's just, I believe the phrase is, let's cook a big pot of spaghetti, throw it at the wall, and see what sticks. That's what World Star does, but they're making more than just spaghetti and throwing it at the wall. They're making spaghetti, pot roast, sushi, freaking cake, all in the same pot, and just throwing it all on one page. It's bananas what these guys are allowed to post, get away with posting, and certain things I wonder why they think like, oh, we should post this, especially like World Star, like dancing videos. It's just a weird niche genre, which is obviously going to take some deep diving or belly flopping into. So I got that one on my list. Ooh, another one that's tougher to do because, like I mentioned, the one I really want to do, which is how much porn is on the internet, I came across is incest. Like, when did people think it was like, this is common, this is factual. But one of the most popular terms searched in genres of videos now is incest stuff, stepbrother, stepsister, stepmom, stepdad, whatever. I want to dive into that without, falling into a porn wormhole. And then I always thought it'd be fun too to like go back and like how I did the wrap ups back in the day, but like in that one with the incest one where like I do a song to everyone that's like, hey kids, it's not okay. Stop banging your stepmom. Hey guys, it's not okay to bang your sister. Incest, not okay. Something like that. Obviously that was off tune and whatever, but like do a little song about like tying it all together. I thought that'd be cool. But yeah, there's a dude, Dobre, the Dobre dudes. I have some tweets from them that's like brother, sister, sharing girl. It's just weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, I got tons of stuff on there. Like, hey, let's talk about Instagram models. Let's talk about clickbait. Let's talk about YouTubers. Let's talk about porn. Let's talk about memes. Let's talk about poor investments, ads and content, drop skipping scams, how rap music is made, Ellen kills memes, breakup videos, pyramid schemes. Brain teasers. And then I have like some sports ones that I probably won't ever get to because I feel like the sports genre is like so oversaturated because of like Barstool and Bleacher Report, stuff like that. But I always thought it'd be fun. Like I've actually done research on this one right here, but like how crazy it is. Like you'll be sitting there if you're a sports fan and you'll be watching a basketball game. Maybe you have a couple bucks on it. Maybe you're just a fan and you'll be like, how did that guy miss that shot? He sucks. But you don't realize like how really hard it is to play in the NBA. Like currently how many NBA players are there? And then find out like, okay, of those players, then now you got to go a step back, peel the onion back. Oh, I should call the show Peel the Onion Back. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is groundbreaking. Then you go back in and you peel the onion back and you say how many people played in the NCAA last year that are draft eligible. And then there's overseas players. How many players enter the NBA draft? What is the average age that people retire? What's their career span? Because back in the day, you would have guys that would retire 4 or 5 years earlier. But then you have, like a couple years ago, Paul Pierce was still taking up a roster spot in minutes for teams when he wasn't bad, but he wasn't Paul Pierce. But you still don't bench Paul Pierce to play your second-round rookie to try and get him better, if that makes sense. I always think about breaking down like where you grew up and the best player you ever saw live. Mine was Rodney Stuckey, the Mr. Basketball of the state. Rodney Stuckey is an example of my state where he made it from Eastern Washington, a D1 AA school, to the NBA, to the Indiana Pacers, and actually had a decent career. Then there's also guys, so where my brother went, CJ Wilcox, state of Utah, best player, still one of the best three-point shooters in the history of the University of Washington, a Pac-12 school. He never got to even play really in the NBA because there's too many players. So you're saying that now each year of that, if the career span is 7 years of these players, what are you going to do? It's just crazy. So, yeah, that's like next time you see a guy brick a shot in the NBA and you want to tell your friend how much they suck, just like think about that. You also got to break down like the size and the speed and athleticism from like how a point guard to a center. Damian Lillard 6'4", whatever. But you look at him, you're like, oh, I can do that. It's like, no, he's still 4 inches, 5 inches taller than normal person, and he moves like that. It's crazy. But yeah, I obviously probably won't do more of the sports ones out the gate, just because there's less rules out there or less fans out there. Oh yeah, Fashion Nova, that's a good one. Fashion Nova is just like a weird, took over everything. TikTok, kind of already talked about that. Oh, this is just more of a question. Like, how do you this would be a cool research thing. I don't know if it'd be a podcast, but I wrote this down. How do you become a NASCAR driver? Like, I mean, seriously, I'm asking. Like, I went to high school, college, know a few people who know a few people. But I don't know anybody who's like, oh, I'm going to get into race car driving. Like, that's tight. I'm not knocking on it. I'm just wondering, like, there's programs in as a kid when you come up to play soccer, to swim, to even weird stuff like karate and cricket and stuff. They're not weird, but like small niche sports, handball, all that kind of thing. I don't, where do you train to be a NASCAR driver? Like, are you good? Like, what if my daughter at age 5, we go-kart riding and she's just like passing people and just killing it, like drifting, Vin Diesel style, Tokyo Drift, Fast and the Furious, just whipping around the corner, 0 to 100, living life a quarter mile at a time. What if she's just naturally gifted at that? Where do I sign up to like NASCAR training? Where do I go? Do I have to move? I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a racetrack. Do they just like, all right, here you go. Like, who teaches them? Are there enough people that have been like NASCAR retired professionals who are now coaches? It's just a good question. I just want to know. So yeah, that's the idea. I don't know the best way for anyone listening. If you are still listening, again, this was the Colby Show. I might change my Belly Flop podcast to Peel the Onion Back, but I don't know the best way that you guys use to try and contact people. But send me a message if you would listen to that and if you think it's a good idea, because maybe my ego just needs like 5 people to message me somewhere and be like, hell yeah, I would listen to that. And if you do send me that, I'll do this. If you send me a message somewhere, preferably on Twitter or Instagram, if you don't have social media, email me at colby@dudecomedy.com. And if you do, and you think it would be a good thing and you would watch it, I will do this on my first episode. I will say, hey, thank you to your name if you make this happen. Because I don't know if it's going to, again, I don't want to be in this life of mine where I start and don't finish things. So I'm doing 5. And I've done 2 recorded that aren't edited yet, but I have the topics for the next one. But maybe if I get some ego boost, I will do it. And if you listen this far on the Dude Comedy Podcast, thank you, man. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe it. I just got on a nice little tangent there for a little bit, and I think I blacked out. My water cooler that I got is already out of water. So I'm drinking a lot of water, thinking that's why I'm so just filled with genius ideas right now. So, yeah, again, thanks for listening to this episode. Nothing's going to change on this. Just like Kyle, it's a sideshow. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything different. It'll all be in the same umbrella. It actually is under the same audio boom. If we had a sponsor, again, thank you for sponsoring us. Sorry I didn't get your ad right because I don't have access to that because I didn't think I would be doing a solo show for a while. Burns and Kyle, thanks for leaving me in the dust. Again, send me a message on Twitter or tweet at me. Find me on Instagram. Do it there. Too good to be true. Oh, email Colby@dudecomedy. Build my ego a little bit. Maybe I'll do it. Thanks again for listening. I really, really hope that this saved, recorded, edited right. I hope my screen shares worked. If you're an audio listener, sorry for the little bits of delays. I was working on out of the blue hitting the screen share button. I feel really great about it. I feel great that you got to experience this day with me. I wonder how many minutes I talked. I'm going to say 33 minutes. But yeah, thanks again for stopping by. Hope you had a great day. And I will see you on the next episode. I'm trying to find how to end this. I'll see you on the next. I really don't know how to end. Okay, here it is. Bye.